understanding of the game. And from there, your natural skill will elevate you to the highest ranks this game has to offer. So every game starts here at the character pick screen. I recommend that you, starting this game, pick the hero that you think is the cutest or that interests you the most. So maybe you like some some freaky looking character like a primal beast, That's this guy. He's crazy looking, or maybe you want to see just like some kind of wizard. Or, this guy's a wizard. This guy's a dragon. So there's all number of characters you can choose, and as you play games, you'll see more characters. And in the games that you are playing, I apologize if you can hear the noises in the background. It is my phone and also the fan downstairs turning off. So we'll pick this hero. This is the hero that I like the best. You can probably tell from how often I play this hero. And you'll buy items. So part of the game is knowing what to buy, and you can always find guides here, and you can essentially do what they tell you for your items and your skills. Starting out, this is a great choice because you will not know what the items are or what you need to do. So, sorry about that thumping sound. Hopefully it's not coming up on the video, but I anticipate it is because it's extremely loud to me, and it's not going to stop for some time. That's not true. That's me being just exaggerating. Okay, so let's pause the game here and take a look at what we have. So there are several important things on our screen that are very important. One of them is the map. This is the most important thing. So starting at the bottom left of the screen, this is the map. The map shows you where you are, where any visible players or NPCs are, and it shows structures. So, the goal of the game of Dota 2 is to destroy the enemy team's ancient, and you do that by destroying the towers that block your way before that. But you can't just go up and attack a tower because there will be people defending it. Looking at your map is the most important thing you'll do in a game of Dota 2, and I'll show you why you can't just attack a tower. It's because they hurt, but you will get stronger as the game progresses. So, the next important thing, this is the most important, you should be looking at this all the time, the map. We'll ignore these things on the other side until we start talking about features of the map. Now, going from the top down, I think is a great way to do this, but you have to start with the map. It's the most important thing. So at the top of the screen, you will see two teams. It will have your team's heroes and the enemy team's heroes. So because I'm playing on the left side of the map, my character is on the left side of the scoreboard, whereas if I was playing on the right side of the map, if I was playing for the red team over here, then my character would appear on the right side, so you can see who your friends are, your allies, and then who your enemies are. You may have noticed in the middle here, this just changed from a moon to a sun. This game has a clock, and the clock is very important. We'll quickly say these number zeros are the number of kills belonging to each team. It's a good way to gauge the advantage that you have in a game. It's not the end-all be-all, and having the higher number does not win the game, but it is a good indicator of how much you are outperforming the other team. Now, the clock is something that you want to get used to looking at too. Right now, it is at 9 seconds. At 2 minutes, a rune will spawn in the river here in this spot. And down here in this spot, you can see them slightly illuminated. If you play in the mid lane, like I do, and most of my advice is going to be germane to this experience, you will want to know when this rune is coming. So every 2 minutes, a rune will appear in these two spots, or in one of these two spots. So at minute 6, runes begin to appear in just one of the two spots. It is random. Also, at every minute, creeps come out of the base. Creeps come out of the base every 30 seconds. So you will be able to time when creeps are coming out of the base. Creeps are important because they are just like you. They have about 500 health. I have about 500 health. But they don't deal as much damage. These creeps are going to be what gives you gold. Gold is very important. We'll talk about it later. There are other creeps as well. Let's go and take a look at them. So these spawn at the 1 minute mark. And they appear in these camps. If you hold the Alt key, you can see the box for these camps. And you can also see on the map once creeps spawn there. Anything that you kill that is a creep or an enemy hero or just stuff on the map will give you gold. So if you get the last hit on a creature, you will get the gold for that kill. Unless it's an ally, in which case you just deny it. So getting last hits is super important. If you want to be good at the game, it's one of the first things you should train. Knowing your hero's damage is good, and knowing the movement of the creeps is also very good. So something that I recommend to people is watching the animation of these creeps. If you want to get better at this game, I had an uphill miss there, so that you can gauge which attack from your allied minion here, the creep, is going to deal the final blow against the enemy's creep, and you try to time your attack to land just before that one. So I did not do it before that guy. You'll get a feel for this, and ranged heroes have a slightly more difficult time. It's not difficult, it's just less straightforward in last hitting. Because different projectiles fly at different speeds, so when I pointed up at the top at what all the different heroes are, what they might be, it's very important because each hero has a different attack, different stat gain, different abilities. Every hero is different. That's not to say that every facet of them is completely unique. Lots of characters do similar things. For instance, there's two characters who can blink, to instantly teleport a short distance. And there's multiple characters who can go invisible. But the combination of those things is always different. So learning your hero and learning the other heroes of Dota 2 is going to be one of the biggest learning curves of the game. Alright, so we're focusing on last hitting here. This is how we get our creeps. you may hear this called CS, which stands for creep score. And it's essentially this number in the top left. I have 9 last hits and 5 denies. It's not a very good score, but starting out, you shouldn't aim too high. You should aim for a better understanding rather than a better number, because this is a challenging game. You will always be learning. Alright, so we talked about getting gold. Now we'll protect our tower here. Yes, cheeky play. I tried to orb and get to. Okay, I'm distracting myself with laning. So, we get gold, and what we do with gold is we find more effective ways to destroy the enemy's ancient. That comes from items. So, you can, starting out, just buy these items in order for whatever hero you're playing. They will also recommend which skill point you take. So, we talked about this top portion. We talked about this left portion with your last hits and denies. Now let's talk about this right-hand side. This is the shop, which you open here at the bottom. You may assign a hotkey to open the shop. That, whatever works for you. I don't do that, but don't take what I do as the best choice. It's just what I'm used to. So you can buy these items in order, but they all have a gold cost. So you can see the bottle under the name has a cost of 675. And it has a little home icon. That means it's available in your home shop for different items like, well, let's see if I can find one. This hyperstone has a like a tent, and that means it's not available in your home shop. It's only available in the secret shop, which is sort of like an outpost shop in the middle of the map. So that's our guy, our secret shopkeeper. He has different items that aren't for sale in the regular store. Now, the regular store is here in your base with this guy. You can also click on these shopkeepers to open up the store, but it's possible. I don't think it's a good thing to do, but it is possible. Not a good habit, I should say. But when you buy items here, so for instance, when I buy this bottle, I can transfer it to my courier with this button. Courier deliver items. Or I can press F3. So that's what I will do now. I have a hotkey set on my mouse buttons, one for my character and one for the courier, so that I can always know where one is. So my courier comes out with the item I purchased. Now I have it. This is going to allow me to stay in the lane longer. That's the purpose of this item, and I won't get into too much detail about what each item does, because there's too many to count. But they give you different things. So some give you utility, some give you more damage, some give you ways to move more effectively around the map. Ultimately, you will want to learn what your team needs and what the enemy team is weak to. You'll find this out through trial and error. A lot of times, you will realize after a game is finished what items you should have bought. But when you're starting out, just buy these items in order. They appear down here next to your abilities, and they have hotkeys assigned to them. You can change your hotkeys in the settings here, and you don't have to use what I use. But I do recommend that you use Quick Cast. What that means is that when you press a button, it activates. Otherwise, you will have to press a button and then sometimes click on the map, so you have to do two things instead of one, and I'm a little slower, so doing just one thing really helps me out. Alright. There's also a per item quick cast, but I don't have quick cast on my items. That's funny. So there's just a huge number of options in this game, but your hotkeys is going to be the main one. So I have a button for my hero, and I have a button for my, if I can find it, my courier. Oh, it's not there. Not sure. But that's part of the settings that you can look at when you start to play this. If something feels like it would make more sense to you, you can change it. You can also search in your settings for all kinds of different things. There's like so much information here. And as I'm talking about this, I'm trying to remember, there was a thing I was going to mention, but it eludes me now. Let's get out of the way of that. So right there you can see that gold highlighted circle means I can level up that ability. You do that by clicking the plus icon above it. Now, my ability, my ultimate ability, doesn't do anything to these creatures because it only affects enemy heroes. So it is point target and it latches onto enemy heroes. So it doesn't do anything to creeps. Each of these abilities will tell you what it affects. So it tells you what type of ability. So this one is point target. That means you would press the button and then click the mouse, or use quick cast, like I recommend. And then it has the damage type because it deals damage, deals magical damage. It does not pierce debuff immunity. That's not something we'll talk about in this video. And then it gives you information about how the ability progresses. The thing that's most important to me is right up at the top, where the blue box tells you its mana cost. The black and white box tells you its cooldown. And then the green box tells you its range. So, you will learn to use your abilities effectively against enemy heroes and play the map. So, playing the map is the big thing you want to do. It's why you always want to be checking your map. So, what I'd like to do now is to, since we have at least an acquaintance with the interface, see what this will look like. And I'm going to, let's see, I need to fill with bots, sure. And this should just start us up. Wait. Oh, it maybe thinks I'm in one. Okay, yeah, I think it had put me in one. Yeah, there it goes. Wow, getting a lot of failures here. Restoring connection to the Dota 2 game coordinator. This happens sometimes. The coordinator goes down. Back to lobby, sure. And I can't start the game because the coordinator's down. Maybe my internet is down. Hard to say. Well, I guess that's that. Now I'm trying to think. I had so many ideas about what I would talk about. You can learn some things here. In the Learn tab, there's a lot of these, which are great. They're great tutorials. It's never been easier to get into the game. using these tutorials, but I think it helps to have somebody explain it, to find it a little more relatable. So you can learn about all the items in the game. There are so many. There are so many you will not know the exact stats of every item. I do know what all of these items do, but as far as their exact numbers, as far as, how much it heals, how much defense it gives, what its cooldown is, I don't know that. But some items I do. So, you will buy different items to make your hero more powerful, so that you can then defeat the enemy ancient. We'll talk about playing the map and things. Pick the same hero, and we'll put ourselves in the mid lane here. So just to demonstrate, I can do this. This item is called a ward. Wards are free, and they give you vision. So we talked about this map being the most important thing you will use in the game. Wards help you to see more of the map. So when I place a ward, it gives me vision in an area that I otherwise would not see because of fog of war. Because this is all dark, I can tell that's not a place where I have vision. And vision is what shows you enemy heroes. I don't actually know if bots deward, but there's that. My team has followed me. I wonder if they'll follow me into danger. So, once this timer reaches 0, the game will begin. The first runes will spawn. There will be 4 runes, 2 in the river like we talked about, but also there will be one here in this stream and here in this stream. We'll talk more about the map here. We can see an enemy on the map. I kind of want to just see what's up there. So one of my abilities gives me vision, and that's helpful so that I got to see all of them. This is not how a team fight works. You should not be just willy-nilly moving in and out of fights. You should be casting your abilities when it's appropriate, and not just, what we call 5v5 man fighting. So that's very messy, but it's probably how your games will look. Alright, let's go over the features of the map. So we can see in the bottom lane we have a couple of our heroes fighting. They are fighting in what is called the safe lane, so this means that close to our tower is this little pool of lotuses. This gives you regeneration. When you pick up a lotus, those spawn every 3 minutes. Another reason it's important to look at the clock. You will also get a bounty rune every 3 minutes. I think this might have changed. And sometimes the game changes. It's not a stagnant thing. So it's something that, once you learn it, you'll keep relearning it because things change all the time. Now in the river we can see this cavern that looks like a frog. You see the 2 eyes in the body of the frog. Inside this cave is Roshan. He is one of the most dynamic features of the map. He is invisible until you step inside his den. So he has so much health. He has 6,000 HP, 20 HP regeneration, and he gains more damage a strong opponent, but he carries the Aegis of this immortal. This allows a hero to come back to life immediately after dying. So, that's very helpful at the end of the game when death timers become longer. So right now, this character's dead for 2 more seconds. But as the game goes on, in roughly 30 minutes to 50 minutes, I would say is the average DotA game, you would see that death timers increase a lot. And having the Aegis is something that you can use so that you can remain in the game and keep fighting to destroy the enemy's ancient. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by this bot. It's fun to watch them. Alright, anyway, let's keep looking at the map. So, this Lotus Pool is an important feature of the game because it gives you more health and mana. You cannot spend the whole game getting health and mana. They are just a resource that you should use wisely, so I'm not using my spells every time they're available because I would run out of mana, and I'm not walking at these heroes because I might take too much damage. If I take too much damage, I can no longer hit these creeps effectively because when I step up, I will get killed. That's just the nature of playing on low HP. If you are weak, then you will not be able to fight. So, getting gold is one of the main ways you get stronger in the game. You also get experience. Even if you don't get the gold for a last hit, if an enemy or an NPC dies near you, you will earn experience. And that is what helps you to raise your ability levels. Your abilities get stronger as you level up, and your gold makes you deal more damage or move faster, or otherwise make you more effective in what you do for your team. Now, we talked a little bit about the mid lane, which is great because it's a solo atmosphere and you can't be expected to know the dynamics of other heroes. But let's take a look at this side lane here. Right now this Oracle has no mana, which means he can't do as much to defeat the enemy hero. I don't know where he got the mana for that spell. I guess it's just 80 mana. But what his job is the support. And this Drow Ranger is what we call the core. So there are cores and supports. The job of a support in the lane is to make sure that the carry, or the core, can get last hits. So it's this person's job to make sure that the other person can get the gold they need to from the creeps. If you don't have mana, it means you cannot defend if they try to attack your core, taking them out of the lane, causing them to respawn in the fountain and come back. It also means that if they are playing with low health here, you are not able to use your other spells, like this one, to more effectively kill the enemy. You can also, what we call, harass the enemy, so you, as a player who is not focused on hitting these creeps at the right time, can just go up and attack the enemy hero. So do this, call this a bit of harassment. I'm actually dead here if he wants me dead, because he has ultimate, I'm pretty sure. And these build items, something I did not buy. But doing damage to the enemy is what we call harassing, and that just makes makes it so that they are weaker and can't walk up to the creeps. If I walk up to these creeps and I have 200 health, guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get killed. Now all of these creeps are going to die, and I won't be there to get the experience, and I won't be there to get the gold. Now you see this gold border around my number here. This is my respawn timer, and it being gold tells me that I have buyback. You should not buy back early in a game. Buying back means that you respawn in your fountain immediately, but that the time you would have waited to respawn gets added on the next time you die. Alright, so something I just did here was use Town Portal Scroll. This is one of the items. It has a dedicated slot. You get a Town Portal Scroll for free every time you die, but you can also buy them in the shop. These allow you to teleport to your friendly structures, and you should be using these wisely. You should always carry one. And that's my big advice. Always carry a Town Portal Scroll. This allows you to join up with your team, so if this team sends more than 2 people top, my team is going to be outnumbered and is not going to be able to defend themselves. I can join them with a Town Portal Scroll and come to join the fight. Knowing when to help your team in a fight and knowing when to focus on just getting more gold is one of the things that strikes a balance. In Dota 2, you will never know the exact right answer because there is no exact right answer. Sorry, I'm just getting mocked by this bot. Not super focused. That's okay. This is one of those runes we mentioned. Every 2 minutes, a rune will spawn, and at 6 minutes, only 1 rune in one spot in the river, not both. These runes have different effects. You don't have to learn them all. They're actually pretty straightforward just based on the name. Alright, I haven't shown you any creeps, neutral creeps. This thing is called a Watcher. A Watcher's like a ward. It gives you vision on the map. Now that ward I placed earlier is gone. They only last 6 minutes, and then they go away. These are the neutral creeps, which I'll talk about in a moment. Again, on our map, every 7 minutes, this shrine activates. This shrine gives you extra levels. There's so much to think about in Dota 2. So, think about your clock. At 3 minutes, if you're in a side lane, at 3 minutes, you want to stand within this circle so that you get one of the lotuses from the pool. Every 7 minutes, you want to be within the circle so that you can gain the extra experience. I'm getting stunned because that guy's jungling. Alright, I was going to show you this. If I drag these creeps out of this golden box, when it becomes the next minute, then another set of creeps will spawn. This is called stacking, and it means that you can potentially farm more enemies at one time. This is the ancient camp, which means it is the toughest camp. This guy's gonna die. Because those are really tough enemies to fight. So something there is I gave away information. They did not have vision of me, but when I used my ability to attack these creeps and get gold, they saw that I am here. I'd no longer have the element of surprise, and if they see me here, they might send someone through their portal. So, or to their tower with a Town Portal Scroll. So, having having information is important. That's why you play sports, so you can get vision. You also do not want to give away information for free. If I'm up here and I'm able to hit these creeps, whenever I want, then that is good for me. But they know I'm here. My team is not here, which I would have known. In this scenario, if I had looked at my map, I could see that no allied heroes were with me. Your map may look like this. It tells you which heroes are on your team and which heroes are on the enemy team. So know where your allies are, know where your enemies are, know where you need to be to have the most effect. If you play it in the mid lane, you basically want to just stay in the mid lane. I don't think we kill this guy, but it's good to practice. Okay, we actually did get him. So I had another teammate with me. We outnumbered him. We could use that advantage to take him off the map. It's like chess pieces. If you take them off the map, you have the advantage in a certain area. But unlike in chess, these pieces come back. So we know a little bit about the creeps. One thing that's going to help us understand the game more is not just that when we destroy these towers we get to attack the ancient, but that you gain advantages from attacking more structures. So within this base there is a ranged barracks and a melee barracks. These exist in all three lanes on both sides of the map. He used a blood grenade. I didn't see him coming at me there. If you destroy the enemy team's barracks, then your creeps get stronger. I can't explain why. It doesn't mean that the other team's creeps get weaker, but it just helps you. Because creeps are going to be hit by the tower while you deal damage, so in this case, I haven't been in lane. I'm playing very poorly. And they have dealt a lot of damage to my tower because their creeps have been here either attacking the tower or giving cover so that the enemy heroes can attack the tower. Heroes are what we call the people like me and this Zeus guy. I've bought no regen at all. I think I die here if I try and man up. No, he didn't want it. Oh well. So I bought an item from my sheet here, and I send it to me, and the game goes like this. We have 9 kills, they have 6 kills. It's nighttime, now it's daytime. It was nighttime because this character activated their ability, which is interesting, but not something you'd see in every game, so it's not something we'll consider for purposes of this demonstration. So my item, oh yes, also Roshan moves. This big guy in the daytime, he is in this top cave right here, and in the nighttime he is in the bottom cave. It's like the sun. In the nighttime the sun is down, and in the daytime the sun is up. So Roshan is like the sun on the map. My team has rotated here to help me, which is excellent because I could definitely use it. I'm very distracted, so I hope you find this relaxing. It's not going to be the best tutorial you'll have in Dota 2, but it covers the basics. always know where your team is and what your team wants to do. So right now, my team has an advantage. It means we are strong. We want to continue to use this advantage if possible to deal damage to the enemy structures or heroes. And I got greedy there, so I did not have vision on the enemy heroes, so I didn't know where they were. They used their down portal scrolls to teleport to their structure. Of course, it's their structure, it's red on the map here. And react to me being out of position, which is far from my team, in a place I should not be. So, if your team tells you you are out of position, typically it means you are too far forward. But it may be that you are too close to the enemies. It's something that you could ask your team, like, who is my target? Or where should I be? And questions like, who is my target? Is great because they will tell you the hero they think is strong or the hero they think that your hero is good against. Each hero is kind of a rock, paper, scissors match against another hero, but it's compounded by 5 and it's given different scenarios by time, by cooldown, by position on the map. So it's not a straightforward calculation. Something you can do to influence this rock, paper, scissors is buying items. So buying different items help you solve problems that you have, meaning that you can stay on the map longer, deal more damage to enemies, take more structures, and ultimately just become more powerful so that you can defeat the enemy's ancient. Something I didn't talk about at all is how you control the camera. So you can use your mouse to edge pan, move your mouse to the edge of the screen and it will move that way. I recommend instead that you use your middle mouse button and use that to move the camera. You can click and drag with the middle mouse button and get good information about what is going on in your surroundings without having to move your cursor away from the action, because you need your cursor to click on things to attack them or whatever, to click on them. Or you can use keyboard keys. Some people use WASD. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that you use keyboard keys, but if that feels natural to you, then go for it. I have my camera set to the arrow keys, which I never use because they are very far away on my keyboard, and I instead use edge pan and camera grip, which is the moving the mouse to the edge of the screen and clicking and dragging with your mouse. Clicking and dragging is helpful because it allows you to keep your mouse closer to the center of the screen so that you can control where your cursor is to use different abilities. So they have teleported more heroes here, and we should back off right now. We are forcing this. We are out of position, essentially. Out of position is something that one person is, but we are two people, so we are not out of position. We are making a bad play. So that's what we're doing here. Let's get this, possessed mask. Who cares? These items, if you have DotA Plus, you can get recommendations on what you should buy. These are all different and they're dependent on the game. You don't actually have to use use one of these, but you should always get one. I can't explain to you why one is better than the other, and I won't refuse to do so. Alright, I think this video is complete. Really, the thing that makes you successful in a game of Dota 2 is knowing where you should be and what you should be doing right now. I should be with my team because we have an advantage. My team is together. They're ready to attack. Or they're here attacking my top tower. I cannot be there because I've mismanaged my resources. I have no health because we made a bad go at top. We made a bad play. And so I expended my health resource, and I no longer have health that would allow me to stay in this fight. You can regen health back in the base, or you can use items to regenerate your health, or passively over time it will regenerate on its own. But because I did not have this resource, I was unable to join the fight, and we lost our top tower, meaning I can no longer teleport there, and the enemy's influence gets closer and closer to our base. My team is owning, so I will go and join them, and I think we will summarily end the game. A game is not usually this short, but bot matches are funny like that sometimes. So now I am with my team, and I can assist them in whatever ways is best for me and my skill set. What my hero does is provide damage, kind of sneaky damage from afar, typically. My hero is also built to jump into danger and be elusive. So there's no danger here currently. Now we do not have vision on this high ground, so it's dangerous for me to stand near there. That's, knowing what I should and shouldn't do with the information I have. Alright, and then... Okay, that should have activated, but it did not, so that's interesting. Alright, I'm just doing a bunch of misplays here. Alright, I once again have no health resource, so I can get health regen on this item maybe, and give myself a modicum of additional information. Now, I have to play back here because I have no health. They are going on this guy, and I should chase him because my hero is mobile. So that's what my hero is meant to do, is to provide damage, oftentimes from afar, and to move into places where other enemies might not be expecting me to go. So, was out of position here, because the team is back here, the team is out. We destroyed the barracks, so our creeps are stronger, and that naturally means that you have an advantage, and you don't have to push this advantage. Enemies are strongest on their high ground, and you should always be careful high ground. Doing things like going to kill Roshan to get the Aegis from him is one thing. Enemies have their fountain here, so they can heal very quickly. They also have vision advantage because these structures, these towers, give them vision. So it is easiest. It also gives them armor when they're near their tower. So going high ground is necessary to destroy the enemy's ancient, but it is the most dangerous thing you can do. That is why you need to have gold and items so that you can make your hero more powerful, and levels so that you can make your hero more powerful. The more powerful you are, the better chance you have at destroying the enemy's ancient. And it's as simple as that. So we don't have to worry about any additional gameplay here. It would be nice to end this with the conclusion of the game. You know, that we just win, but it's not necessary. You will get addicted to winning at this game. There we go. So I caught this hero out here because I can deal damage from afar and I am elusive. I also have this catch ability, so that's what my hero needs to be doing. And knowing what you need to do is the biggest portion of what makes you successful in this game. Knowing where to be is the other one, so being here is fine because my team is here. There's an objective here for us to take, and they are missing 2 heroes, so we have more players in this area than they do, which means we should play to use that advantage and push in further if we can. Wonder if my team will come here if I just ping this like a madman. Yeah, I should not have gone in there. That's very dangerous to do. But my hero is elusive, so. I thought I could get this Luna. Alright, I'm playing badly. This video is a mess. So, I hope it was relaxing. I hope you gained something from this. Even if it is just that you can open the shop by clicking the shopkeeper. Let that be my parting gift to you all. So, I thank you for watching this video. I hope you use this knowledge to play better than me. Wish you all a good rest of your night. Take care, everyone.